Hello, hello, hello. This is Kojo. Welcome to the Start of Play podcast. And this is the Champions League draw. I will be joined live by Basil very, very soon. Also doing daily duty. So, going to be looking here, but mostly looking here because we are here for the Champions League draw. We all know the 8 teams that have gone through. So, it's the round of 16 now. Exciting times in Europe. Later on today at 12 o'clock is the Europa League draw, but we'll worry about that another time. There's going to be another stream later on. And the man at the moment, his team is involved in this. My team isn't, so I needed him here. That's why.
How you doing, Roger?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good.
That's good. So, yeah. So, obviously, letting people know that we've got the Champions League draw here live.
Looking forward to the Europa League one?
I mean, kind of. It was kind of weird looking at all the games. I saw Ajax are out. Obviously, they lost to Roma.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting one. But Roma have a good side, so it's not a shock by any means. But how are you feeling about the Champions League draw? That's the most important thing.
I mean, there's one side of the draw I want. I think it's the side. It's not the other side, which won't include Real Madrid. That's the side of the draw. That's the side of the draw that I want. Because for me, if you're going to play like teams like Real Madrid, you kind of want it to be like a one-off final, rather than like a two-leg semi or a two-leg quarter.
Yeah.
Because we've seen what the Champions League nights, they just seem to turn up, which is just. Yeah, they have like a different mentality when it comes to that competition. And for me personally, I wouldn't even be confident because their attacking threat is as Arsenal, we don't have an attacking threat. So we kind of need like teams where it can be a bit tight for us. Whereas their attacking threat is just devastating. And I can't see how a team like Arsenal can keep them at bay while posing a threat. Because one thing what Real Madrid will do, they'll attack you more when they realize your team doesn't pose that much of a threat going the other way. Which I don't think we do personally, which is why, like I said, I'd rather play them in a one-off final where we can make it tight and also look for that one or two opportunity and hurt them rather than like a two-leg match.
Yeah. I mean, just on Real Madrid quickly, because, I mean, they had the draw of the draws with City, of course. Everyone was expecting that game to be quite a tight game, which it wasn't the first leg, but the second leg was crazy. Is that Madrid now starting to get into their stride and now starting to, look comfortable when they go to try and win another Champions League?
100%. I think the thing what you find is that they brought in Mbappe, and obviously throughout the fantasy wasn't even having I think people were overreacting, and I couldn't believe it, saying, "Oh, he's washed, he's finished. How can you bet at 18 now?" Which is just insanity. The guy's an exceptional talent, a generational talent. That word was thrown around a lot, and so what they were doing is they were figuring out how the team kind of functioned with him in there. So they were trying to find like the fluidity between that forward line with him there, because obviously he's a new guy. And that takes time. And it got to a point where they're finding their groove. They finally figured out how that works. And so, yes, I think now they're in that groove where they kind of know where to play Bellingham, where to play Rodrigo, where to play Vinicius, and how to use Mbappe. And that has taken time, but they finally got there. So I think they're finally in their groove when it comes to that.
Yeah, well, that's the one thing that people are talking about, the fluidity. And I've been saying from the beginning of the season, I said, look, they'll find their fluidity. Yeah, this is the part of the challenge of being a top team. When you sign another top player, you just got to find a way for the front 2, 3, 4, however you want to line them up to connect, to work out how they're going to work out. And I think someone who doesn't get enough praise in that front three is Rodrigo. He does a lot for the balance. It's the balance. It's not about his overall contribution in terms of numbers and goals and stuff, but it's the balance. He gets it right, and he helps those two, sort of almost do their thing. He needs to obviously contribute a bit more, in my opinion. Yeah, he's not 19 anymore. He is 25, but he's still a good talent, and he adds to that balance, and it makes it perfect. And when he's not there, they don't necessarily struggle, but you can see that there's a bit more work to do because they don't have another pure.
The things that he knows, what I'll say is he knows how to operate on that right wing at Real Madrid. I think it's finding that balance between attack and working back and defending, which he's kind of found. I think obviously the more better players also knows Vinicius and Mbappe, because with the dribbling and their finishing, they offer a lot more than Rodrigo. Rodrigo chips in an important moment, but as you said, it's about finding that balance. And sometimes when you don't have that balance, it hurts you. And I think he's kind of found that balance as to how to operate on that right wing for Madrid while allowing the others to kind of do their thing.
Yeah, well, we'll see what Real Madrid do. We are going to look into the time. I'm just going to put in the teams that have come through. So obviously, for those of you that don't remember, the top 8 from the league phase anyway were Arsenal, Villa, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Leverkusen, Lille, and Liverpool. And in terms of the knockout phases, they were joined by Bayern, Dortmund. I like to call them fraudmen, but on this occasion, they actually got through. Club Bruges, which I think was very good because they deserved more than anything. I guess that Atalanta side, we'll talk about Atalanta as well. There's a certain situation going on there. Feyenoord, PSG, PSV, and Real Madrid, of course. So now you guys can get Feyenoord or PSV.
I want Feyenoord. I think Feyenoord are on the side, but I think Feyenoord are on the favourable side, which isn't the side where Madrid are on.
Well, on that, I think I don't think you ever played Feyenoord in the Champions League before, have you?
I've never recalled playing Feyenoord. I know we've played PSV many a times. I've never recalled us actually playing Feyenoord in the Champions League before.
That would be interesting. Okay. Continuing on, Aston Villa, Club Bruges, and Dortmund are the clubs they can get. Atletico Madrid can get Bayern or Real Madrid, so it could be another Madrid derby there. Barcelona can get Benfica or PSG. A lot of history with PSG in particular. One huge game in particular, if anyone remembers, a very, very big photo job from Paris Saint-Germain. But then they got revenge by taking Barca's baby, Lionel Messi. Inter can get Feyenoord PSV, so of course, if you don't get whoever you get, they get the other team. Sorry. Leverkusen, Bayern, and Real Madrid, so whoever Atletico get, Leverkusen get the other side. Lille, Bruges, or Dortmund, and Liverpool, Benfica, or PSG. Question about PSG, because I think this season, it's weird to say, but sometimes it happens. A team loses a key player and they're forced to find a new balance. And it seems like there's a lot more of an equal balance in the team. I'm not going to put too much stock in their win against Brest because that's a league opponent for them. And they expect to beat these teams in their league. So in the Champions League, you don't see us any different. And they haven't been completely scintillating in Europe. But I think the way they line up makes a bit more sense, especially João Neves in midfield. Would them drawing Liverpool, would that be an adequate enough test for Liverpool? Or do you think Liverpool would brush by them?
No, Liverpool are going to brush them. What people don't realize about PSG is, yes, they're building a younger squad, a different squad, but they're not that potent. Obviously, they picked up form in the last few weeks, but overall, they're not that potent or great. And the issue I have is because, like I said, PSGs have superstars who can win them games like that. You know, and sometimes what you need in certain games, you need players who can stand up and win you games in those tight moments. PSG don't have that, and they've kind of flattered to deceive. Like Arsenal, when we played them earlier in the Champions League round, it was a walk in the park. Arsenal didn't get out of gear to beat PSG 2-0. And it showed that they're building a younger squad, but they don't have a squad that anybody fears. Personally, they've got dangerous players, but it's not a team where you think, oh, they're at the top of their game, we should fear them. And defensively, they're not that strong too. So I think if Liverpool get PSG, they will walk all over PSG. I think PSG are kind of flattered to deceive in the last few games, but they haven't really played anyone truly competitive. Yes, they played, was it Man City? But that's a Man City in all sorts. But like at that point, anybody could beat Man City in the form that they're in right now. So it wasn't as if they're playing a true Man City. And that's the only kind of decent team they're beaten. So yes, they've improved. Players are picking up form, but I don't think they'll go far in the competition. I think they'll either get knocked out the next round or the round after, personally. Yeah. Oh, you're on mute. Coach.
Yeah, I just realized.
I know to add what people don't realize, because I watched part of their first game against Brest. Brest had chances in that game too, just didn't take in the first leg, not the second leg. In the first leg, Brest had chances and just didn't take it, especially when there was 1-0 to PSG. And as soon as PSG got the second goal, it was kind of the sucker blow to Brest. But when it was 1-0, they had chances to equalize in that game.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we'll find out if PSG are if they're ready to actually compete for the Champions League. Now, I mean, there's only been one time they got to the final, and even then I didn't feel any way about them going on to win it, and they didn't. Bayern dealt with them on that occasion, so that should be interesting. Quick question before we get back to the draw. Not very serious. Do you like Brest?
Well, Mr. Richard likes them, so.
Love it. Let's see. So we got some comments here from from Shedden Basil. That is Theo. He said the real question we should be asking is who are Chelsea playing in the Conference League? Is that draw today, by the way? Because I actually don't know if it is today or not.
I don't know, because obviously Europa League is today.
The
Conference League must be today, because I doubt they'll dedicate a separate day for the Conference League. So it has to be today. There's no way they're doing another ceremony a day after just for the Conference League.
I'm going to look right now, actually, because there is one. So that is at 1 o'clock, 1 p.m.
Which I'm surprised, because isn't Europa League draw? Isn't it like a day or a week after the Champions League usually? I know
it's usually a day after, but I think but see, this is my issue with what UEFA have done, and I kind of understand what they're trying to do.
In fairness, I do prefer it all being in one day personally, rather.
Do you?
Yeah, because for me, I'm like, the reason why I say that's because I don't find the draw presentations entertaining. I literally just tune in from when they're picking the teams. So I'm like, just get done and out of the way. All of this ceremony they do beforehand is just a waste of everyone's time, honestly. Like, we're there to know who's playing each other. Sometimes they're doing all these things beforehand. I'm like, why are you wasting our time for a draw?
Yeah, to be fair, I watch it from the beginning because sometimes I want to be like, oh, who's the footballer they're bringing on station day? Sometimes you see
that's fair. That's fine. Like, something like that is fine. But sometimes all the things they do beforehand, I'm like, come on. Yeah. That's why FA Cup, they don't waste time. The game's done. They broadcast the draw and they do the draw straight away.
Well, yeah. I mean, take us back to the days where it was okay. The draw starting now. This is who you're getting. Job done. Like they do with the FA Cup. Maybe maybe the Brexiteers had some right agenda. Maybe the game is truly gone. All right. Anyway, so as we all know, the draws and which side you could potentially get. Again, obviously, it depends on who the other team get as well. So you'll be hoping that Real Madrid do not fall on your side. So I've just seen
because I want Feyenoord. That's who I want.
Because PSV on the other side, aren't they?
PSV is on the other side. That's not who I want because we should beat PSV, but then if we go through to the quarterfinals, problems.
Yeah, absolutely. Just on your own team, then. I mean, if you do go on the other side where Real Madrid are, what do you think your chances are of at least maybe reaching the final?
Oh, definitely no chance. We don't have. The thing is that no chance, honestly, because the issue is our attack isn't fluid, and we've seen it, even our latest Leicester games. Look how we struggled to break down a team like Leicester and get goals. We scored 2 late goals. So it's like, if we're struggling in the league like this, what do you think we're going to do in Europe where it's a bit more expansive?
That's fair.
I don't think we have a chance just because our attack isn't enough to scare teams to stop attacking us. And that's the problem we're going to face against some of these big teams. Because you're talking about teams with a lot more better attacking quality than what we see in the Premier League. Mm-hmm. And teams who are happy to control and want possession more than Arsenal. So that's why I don't think we don't have like a person who can win us games. So the way Mbappe won Madrid the game in the second leg against City, we don't have that kind of player.
Yeah, that's true.
So Villa have got Lille.
Yeah, let's just put that in the banner right now. So Villa versus Lille is the first one.
Yeah, Villa should win that game.
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's Dortmund Lille. Who did Villa get?
Oh wait, no. Yeah, you're right.
Because they pulled out Villa first.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Oh, okay. I must have missed who Villa got then. So it's Dortmund Lille. Who did Villa get? Hold on.
That's what I'm trying to find out as well. What did I miss?
Ooh, so Lille, Dortmund.
Oh, Villa. Bruges. They got Bruges. Sorry.
Atletico Madrid. Atletico Real Madrid.
I think you might be just ahead of me, so I'm gonna depend on you to shout out the the thing.
Yeah,
So it's
yes,
Villa.
Real Madrid v Atletico Madrid.
Wow.
I need Atletico to do a job on them.
No, I can't lie. If there's one club I do not like, it's Atletico, and it's not because of the Diego Simeone. It's just how it is.
I like them, to be honest.
Lille versus Dortmund, right?
Yeah, Leverkusen. Leverkusen. They're drawing these countries against each other. Oh.
You know what? Why not? Sometimes you need a. I think it's exciting. I like this whole phase because in the Champions League it used to be you can't get
the country quarter final. I like this.
Yeah, this is straight.
Put the teams against each other.
Yeah, man. Straight demolition derby. We're going forward. That's it. So was it? It's Bayern and Leverkusen, right?
Bayern. Oh damn! They gave us PSV. Oh yeah. They gave us PSV. Yeah, we're going out, mate. Quarter final.
This year, without conceding a single goal, we have the second best defensive score in the league phase.
Yeah, we're going out quarter final.
FC Internazionale Milano.
We have, of course, Inter 2006 since quite a long time ago. There was a semi-final of the Europa Cup in 2002. Inter has the best defensive score because they conceded only one goal and 7 clean sheets in league phase. So only 2 pairings now to be determined, and they concern the 2 top teams of the league phase, Liverpool and Barcelona. The silver part.
Liverpool.
Who's Liverpool got?
Sorry. Your the way you're stressed is just killing me, man. Sorry.
Honestly, even the messages are coming through now. We're not getting past the quarter final.
It's a very interesting draw.
He said. Boy.
So wait, it's Feyenoord Inter, and then PSG Liverpool.
PSG Liverpool, and then Barcelona Benfica. Benfica, yeah.
Wednesday 7-5-4 was the result. I played the match on the full rain in Lisbon, and now it will be another opportunity for the 2 teams to play each other. We've concluded the pairings of the round of 16.
Let's do the games. Benfica was the last draw, right?
Benfica was the last draw.
Okay.
Not happy about this.
Oh, brother. Okay, so let's look at these games then, shall we? For the listeners, for the watchers. Let's just get all pounding out from the beginning again. This is nice. This is nice. You know what it is? I'm not in this, so I'm not stressed in the slightest. This is fantastic. It's not fantastic in general, but it's fantastic right now in this moment. Until I start watching the Champions League, I'm like, man, I'm not here again. But anyway, I digress. Club Brugge versus Aston Villa. Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid. Dortmund versus Lille. Bayern Munich versus Leverkusen. Or Bayern, I should say. PSV versus Arsenal. Feyenoord versus Inter Milan. PSG versus Liverpool. And Barcelona versus Benfica. All right. You know what? We'll start with you first. Why are you unhappy about PSV?
Because of who we have next. Hold on. Let me try and find the chart again. I think we get the winner. I think we get the winner of Atletico Madrid.
I think you do.
Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid. I think that's who we get in the quarter if we win that. Hold on.
This is entertaining. I can't lie. I live for this.
So if we win, we get the winner.
Yeah.
No. Sorry. If we win, quarter final. Yeah, if we win, we get the winner of Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid quarter final.
Yeah, man. It's tough times for you. It is tough times, but I think you guys will be okay.
Potentially, we could have an all English quarter final if Liverpool win and Aston Villa win.
What? So, shout out Basil from Theo. here comes Damon with his usual Kojo. Who you got? Listen, listen. If PSG deal with you, you will not find me. I wish I met Damon the day Atletico beat Liverpool just before lockdown. I was a menace to all societies. But no, interesting draw. Let's talk about Liverpool actually. So, what do you think about their chances? You think they're comfortable?
I think they have a very good chance because ultimately you're talking about if they win their game against PSG, they have either Aston Villa or Lille. And so they should be able to beat, I think they're two winnable games, and it's whoever they catch in the semi-final, potentially out of Arsenal, PSV, or Atletico and Real Madrid. If Atletico Madrid are a much better team than previous years, because I think this season they kind of find a better balance between their attacking and defensive prowess. So Varane, even though Atletico Madrid have been a defensive team, people always underrated the fact that they were a very good possession team. They always had good technical players and could keep possession, which I think people kind of underrated. And I hate when English pundits used to talk about them, that all they do is defense. I'm like, no, if you watch properly, they are an exceptional technical team because the way they keep possession and can keep in tight spaces is they're a typical Spanish team where they can control the ball. It's just that maybe they're not as adventurous going forward. And maybe they always leaned more on a defensive shape rather than attacking. But this season, what you found is that they've kind of found a better balance between defense and attack. They're still defensively solid when they want to be, but they're actually very good. Once again, still good in possession, but actually a bit more adventurous going forward. So Simeone's kind of managed to find a balance this season better with this Atletico Madrid than in previous seasons. So
it's true.
They're a dangerous team for anybody to face, even Real Madrid. I mean, even the matches Real Madrid have played in this season have been tight. I mean, they played each other like 2 weeks ago, and it was like a 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're a dangerous outfit. I mean, I think Liverpool are probably favourites to get to the semi-final. I think they should beat PSG, and I think whoever wins the PSG Liverpool match should be favourites to beat either Aston Villa or Lille. And so they have a good chance to semi. It's potentially who they meet in the semi-final.
That's where the question is. Well, I know one club Liverpool don't ever want to see again is Real Madrid.
That's the thing. But I think what Liverpool need to guard against is injuries. I think that could be the thing that derails them. Because at the moment they're heavily reliant on Salah kind of bailing them out or creating and getting them goals. But I think even if they get an injury, I think to go Cody Gakpo even. Because obviously he's like, I think if they, I don't know, Liverpool, I think if they get injuries, 1 or 2 injuries, it could derail them. Even from an attacking sense in that attacking free. If Salah gets injured, then obviously there's a whole load of problems that Liverpool will have. So they need to make sure they wrap him in cotton wool and keep him fit. One thing I would say about Arne Slot I've noticed is that his overusage of Salah hopefully doesn't come to bite, because there's certain games where they're winning 3-4-0 and Salah's still on the pitch. There's certain games where they're playing certain teams, Salah's still on the pitch. And I'm like, you don't want to kind of overuse him. Like, he'll substitute everyone else but Salah. And I'm like, why? There's certain games that will 4-0 up, substitute everyone else. Salah's still on the pitch. I'm like, he's got 2 goals. Take him off. Like, you don't want to overexert him, especially when it comes to the back end of the season. So I think Slot probably needs to be a bit more careful as to how he starts to use this squad.
Yeah.
Now business end of the season. Because you see, like, Arsenal players drop like flies. United players drop like flies. Chelsea got a few injuries. City, a few injuries. So you kind of don't want to overuse players where that becomes a problem when there's no need to do that.
No facts. I mean, personally, overuse him. So you know, and make sure he doesn't sign a new contract. Yeah, tell him that his son cost his wife or something. I don't know. Just get him out of here. But with the draw, so as you mentioned, you are on the side of Real Madrid. So winner of PSV and Arsenal faces the winner of Atletico and Real Madrid. Winner of PSG and Liverpool faces the winner of Club Brugge and Aston Villa. I find that interesting because I don't think Aston Villa are going to cakewalk this one. Benfica,
I question whether Aston Villa will win that match, to be honest.
Yeah, Club Brugge are good. I
can see Club Brugge, especially when you look at how they've done well in the tournament. They've been dangerous, and then also look at how they played against Atlanta. They were very good against Atlanta, and Atlanta's a very good, decent up. You're talking about the Europa League winners from last season. So I don't think Club Brugge is one to be underestimated. And people forget Villa are not in form. Like people, Villa are in very bad form right now, to be honest. So yeah, you never know.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
And defensively, they do have a lot of injuries there. I mean, Mings and Diassi was a horror show against Liverpool. Oh boy!
I saw a Villa fan tweet that he thought in that game that Diassi was sensational. I was like, you know what?
Right, they were a mess together. They were a mess. It was only Liverpool did not take certain chances or punish them for some of the mistakes the pair of them were making at the back.
They made a critical mistake. They made a lot of critical mistakes, and they had a Liverpool. Unfortunately, had a forward that just didn't know how to bag, or doesn't. Sorry, didn't. He doesn't know how to bag. Other side of the draw, Benfica Barcelona faces the winner of Dortmund Lille. Interesting, and the winner of Bayern Munich versus Bayer Leverkusen, the top two teams in the Bundesliga, faces the winner of Feyenoord and Inter Milan.
That's the side of the draw I wanted.
Now, regarding your game, PSV, just to give you some stats here, because I just want to go and check some stats for them, because they are second in their league. That I knew already. They're 2 points behind Ajax, so they're in a title race. But they are heavily ahead in goal scored. It is Eredivisie. I understand people always feel a certain way about that. But for any team in any league, playing 23 league matches and scoring 71 goals is very impressive. And their main danger men in terms of scoring goals anyway are Ricardo Pepi and Luke de Jong. Luke de Jong still playing beyond his years. Gus Till, kind of new to me, but he's a decent player. But the most important thing for me, which I want to get your thoughts on, is their assist numbers in the league anyway alone are very well distributed. Noah Lang, Veerman, Ismail Saibari, all on 7 assists. And then Perisic, another old-timer, an OG, just behind them on the 6 assists. So very much sort of well spread beyond the team. Do you think they can cause you any sort of trouble? I mean, you're not completely out of form, but Arsenal haven't. Actually, it's weird because numbers-wise, in terms of points and stuff, I think you're doing better than you were last year.
The team was funny enough. We're 15 games unbeaten.
Exactly.
I think.
Sorry. Before you answer, just to add to this part of the question, so you can then go on. Is there feels like there's been a bit of maybe negativeness around the club because maybe the fans don't feel there's the same sort of dominant aura they had last year. They feel like the defense is a little bit more shaky, and obviously now that you've lost the forward line essentially to injuries, you're doing makeshift right now. What's his name? Saka will be back in March. That's going to be important. But
I question whether he will be back in March.
We shall see. So far he's scheduled to be back. We'll see if he is back or not. But regardless, do you think they can trouble you in any way, or do you still expect Arsenal to sort of?
They can trouble us. I think you made a few good points. Our defense isn't as solid as it was last season. That's a fact. So we do concede a lot more opportunities to teams. They can, because obviously, especially on the aerial threat, if they're throwing good crosses in, as we saw with their goal, they can cause us problems. I think Arsenal should have enough to win that game. Personally, I think we should. I think that the issue Arsenal have is that we don't have a player who can kind of win us games on fine margins. And I think the way Arsenal have been operating this year, because the attack isn't fluid, it's about winning games on very fine margins. And I think same as last season when we played Bayern Munich in the Champions League, it was all on fine margins, and we didn't have a difference maker to kind of drag us out. Same as when we played Villa when we lost to Villa in the league last season, which kind of derailed us winning the league. It's about in those moments, do we have players who can just step up and be the difference in those fine margins? And I think that's where Arsenal can let themselves down, because if PSV make it tight, there's a chance PSV can go through if they take that one opportunity. Because one thing I've always said with Arsenal is that Arsenal are fine kind of taking the lead when it's like 0-0 or 1-1. But Arsenal, for me, they struggle if they go behind 1-0. Arsenal, especially last season, they're good front runners, but we haven't seen them much of then coming back when they're kind of 1-0, 2-0 down. Sometimes we see them and it's like we don't know where the goal's coming from. We've seen it on a few occasions, but not often enough. And that's why I say we don't have that player where even if you go 1-0 down, can they step up and say, "Oh, it's fine. I'll sort us out and get us the goal." You saw Liverpool were behind 2-1, but they have players who can drag them back to 2-2. Unfortunately, they didn't win against Villa, but they have players who can drag them back to 2-2, drag them back to 3-2 if required. For me, Arsenal don't have that. And I think that's where we're going to struggle. And that's where we could struggle against PSV. Because if they make it tight, then anything can happen.
Yeah, no. Well, that's why I wanted to ask that question, because I feel like sometimes I feel like it's two different sets of Arsenal fans. When there's the other side where it's like, look, we've got more points than last season. We're still in this competition. We're still here. We're not that far off Liverpool. I mean, yeah, there's a gap, and Liverpool are they're steamrolling so far. But in hindsight, things can change. We've seen big gaps get closed down. But there is also that side where Arsenal, especially those little periods of time this season, maybe 2 or 3 games where you just dropped points here and there where you didn't look so as assuring as last season. It's fair to ask those questions. So there's balance in the middle. It's just you'll find with, most fans anyway, or most clubs.
Arsenal will look to control games possession-wise, but they're just not potent. And obviously, like I said, I've always said Arsenal, the difference is that Arsenal's patterns of creating chances are the same. So once a team kind of reads Arsenal, they just stick to how they're going to set up defensively. Whereas if you look at, and I'm comparing it to Real Madrid City match, look at the goals, the variation goals. First goal Real Madrid play is a ball over the top. Mbappe runs off the defender and then lobs the goalkeeper. The second goal was well worked. The passing goes out wide, goes to, I can't remember, was it Vinny? I can't remember Vinny, and then obviously plays Mbappe, who then cuts back.
Yes.
And then you look at the third goal, it goes out wide, Mbappe cuts in the score. So they can create chances. And even look at some of the chances they had. They have a variety of ways of creating chances. So as a defense, it's very hard to kind of mark against that. Arsenal, my issue with Arsenal is that the patterns are the same. It goes out wide and then looking to throw crosses in or put into the box. As a team, once you figure that out, you can easily set up against that, which is why I said Arsenal need to have different ideas against some of these teams, because we're talking about teams who are a lot better than some of the opposition we play in the Premier League. Teams are a lot better on the ball, and teams with a lot better quality than the teams we play in the Premier League. Yeah. So that's why we need to have different ideas. Well, that's why Liverpool haven't had it all their way in the Champions League too, because you're talking about teams with different styles, teams who are a lot more offensively better too. You're not talking about teams in the Champions League you're going to sit back as some teams do in the Premier League and just do deep low blocks and just allow you to have the possession and just look to spoil your day. You're talking about teams that if I get the ball, I'm going to look to hurt you. So that's why I find that English teams having to worry about what's going on behind me too, because it isn't a thing when the Premier League, you lose the ball, they don't do much with you, win it back, you can start again. If you lose the ball in the Champions League, it could be fatal. The other teams will attack with purpose. And so that's the difference we have in the Premier League, in the Champions League, and why you need a variety of ways of winning games and a variety of ways of creating chances.
Just going to bring this statement. This from Damon. Listen, I know you're trying to rattle me. I know you're trying to rattle me, man. It's not me. I'm not the one to be rattled. You know what I mean? You got to find one of them other man. Look at this. United must have a bye to the next round. Haven't seen them yet. If you don't win this competition, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. Big trouble. From now on, I expect you to win, and then I expect Sam to be signing on the contract. If he doesn't, oh my goodness, statement, I will find you. But yeah, anyway, Champions League draw's done. My motto is: no matter the year, no matter the season, bet on Real Madrid.
Now, Coach, I was going to even ask you a question. Who have you got?
Oh, Real Madrid. Always. No matter what happens to that club. Even if next season they were to lose all the players for whatever reason, I firmly believe there is a black magic that they have over the Champions League.
You know who I think is going to win it this season? Barcelona. I think Barcelona will win it this season. Yeah, and I'll tell you why, Kojo. I'll tell you why. For one, I think they're on the favourable side of the draw. Their attack is very good. And I think, like I said, they've had Real Madrid's number this season in games. So I think if both teams get to the final, I think Barcelona could hurt Real Madrid.
No, it's good. You know, it's interesting you said that because it's weird to say I forget about them because they're a juggernaut.
Yeah.
But I do forget about them because even in the league this year, I was asked about the La Liga prediction by one of my boys, and I said, Real Madrid, they're going to win the league. And then Barcelona dealt with them. And the funny thing about that league so far is every time them or Atletico...
One point between Madrid and Atletico on the same points, and then Barca, I think, are 1 point behind them.
Exactly. And it's weird because every time one of the teams go top, they can't sustain the form to stay top. They keep dropping points. It's interesting. Barcelona are still a really good side. They're still a really good team. Obviously, people focus more on their financial issues rather than the how they play, but they're really good. And they've got a top manager in Hansi Flick as well. So, you know what? No, that's a shout. And if it's a Clasico final, I'm here for that. I've been looking for that for years. Right. So, that would be interesting.
That would be devastating. Hopefully, the Barcelona-Arsenal final.
Yeah, if it's Barcelona-Arsenal final, I'll be hoping for a repeat of a certain year. Just going to put it out there. But, Basil, thank you for joining, of course. Champions League draw is done. Those of you that are watching or going to watch later, if you decide to, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let us know who you think is going to win the Champions League. Even this progress through with these draws. Actually, before we do that, before we leave, let's do that very quickly. So we're gonna, as the thing goes across, give me the team that you think is gonna win. Bruges, Villa. I'm gonna go Villa.
I'm going Bruges.
Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. I'm going Real Madrid.
I'm going Real Madrid.
Dortmund versus Lille.
I'm going Lille.
Same. I'm going Lille. I never bet on Dortmund. Bayern versus Leverkusen.
I'm going Bayern, unfortunately.
Bayern as well. PSV, Arsenal. PSV. Feyenoord, Inter Milan.
Feyenoord. I'm going Feyenoord. Yeah,
you know what? Yeah. Inter Milan are too inconsistent. I go Feyenoord as well. I forgot the other game. PSG, Liverpool.
I'm going Liverpool, only just. I think it'll be a tight game.
Yeah, I think Liverpool will beat them as well. And Barca, Benfica.
Definitely Barca. Yeah. I think they're gonna spank Benfica.
Damn.
Over both legs. I think that's gonna be a spanking.
Damn. Oh, can't wait to find that one out. But yeah, for those of you watching again, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let us know who you think is going to go through, who you think is going to progress, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you. I'm back here for 12 o'clock for the Europa League draw. Basil, you joining me or you off?
Well, I have a meeting at 12, but what I'll do is I don't think it'll be that long. So once that's done, I'll double check and then
Okay, perfect. Well, I'll be here and hopefully Basil will be able to join us as well. So yeah, all right. Have a good one, guys, and peace out.